Right then, guys, how are we all doing? Let's dive straight in. Hope everyone's well. Jump it. Oh, the early birds are in. Sin and swaps. Yeah, what's up? What's up? Jump in, jump in. Usual thing today. Nice start again. Again to the trading week. Yesterday / last night, wasn't it, on Big Boy Bitcoin? So we'll go through that. Just looking at the multiverse chart at the minute, eyeballing a couple of levels. I think we could be due for a little bounce in BTC here soon-ish, but we'll see. ETH, not too bad anyway. Sol following the rest. All eyes on Hype. Got the data for Hype obviously over the weekend or whenever it was. Everybody straight into longs where they did trading longs back down. So watching this liquidity a little bit lower on Hype. So what we'll do is we'll do all the usual stuff. We'll have a look at Big Boy BTC. Fresh pair of eyes despite putting the video out earlier. You never know how these sessions are going to change. So we'll have a fresh pair of eyes on BTC. I do have to say straight off the bat that even if you get a little bounce here, running some short side trades, and I'm not actually that fussed for closing them at the minute. I do have to confess I am not closing my short trades, sir. Not being bearish, but just giving me no particular strong reasons to long the market for potential new all-time highs just yet. Few data points we can look at though, so we'll go through those together. Yeah, what's up everyone? Jump in the chat then. So yeah, I mean, jump in the chat, talk amongst yourselves, thoughts on the markets, drop in any altcoins that you need us to look at. Max in, Serkan's in, all the OGs are in. 38, yeah, I do like Hype at 38, and Max will know why. Yeah, I do like Hype at 38. It's the chart on hypeisUpOnly.com. We will go and have a look at that in TradingView as well. You know, so for the very patient among you, with a chart like Hype that is just non-stop trending, you can be so patient on those charts. You don't have to short it. You can long it, take profit, wait, long it again, you know. I think, like I said on the video earlier, I think BTC over the last 2 weeks has given us opportunities on both sides, which I think has been brilliant, because generally over the last couple of months in a strong trending market, I've been very much like long, take profit, chill out, relax, let price come to me, pull back, long, and then rinse and repeat. And yeah, over the last couple of weeks, the data has just been real phenomenal trading data, to be honest. So as mentioned, yesterday wasn't too sure which way we were going to go first, whether we were going to come down first, try and auction price for a little bit of bid on BTC, or go up first. I'm always in favour of coming down first, to be honest, because I'm still long bias, even though I've got a short running now. I'm still long bias because we're still in a higher time frame trending market. Okay, so to get that out of the way, still in a short trade from last night, so executed up here at 108.481. I can't remember how much. I can't remember the exact price. I shared it with the lads last night, 81 or something like that. So yeah, couple of $100 over there, no invalidation. Brilliant. As we entered into the Asian session, we still hit some more aggregated supply. We are just now, so if we just run through a few data points together with a fresh pair of eyes, because things are changing even since this morning when I last looked, okay, so we can have a look at these together, okay. So open interest come down a little bit, as you can just see on the RSI metric here. As we come down to the weekly open and the monthly open, we can have a look at TA levels in TradingView as well if you so wish. It sometimes helps. The open interest has come down, slight rise now. We are getting some slight bidding. Okay, we are getting a slight bit of bid. Okay, Binance, Coinbase Pro. Okay, we're getting a little bit of bid. So do I expect a little bounce here? Yeah, potentially. You know, US session, bit of volume come in, bounce up here. That's absolutely fine. Do I want to close my shorts? No, I don't really, to be honest. They've still got these offers above. And, you know, the ratios are reversal kind of ratios, I don't think. Okay, so maybe you bounce around here for a couple of hours even, and then maybe we get those lower rotations to value and maybe cut under that 105. That'd be really, really nice. So slight spot bid, absolutely fine, isn't it? Okay, but that isn't the be all and end all. It's, you know, just seeing a slight bit of spot bid, unless it's super aggressive in here, okay, and you've got top levels sitting under price, dynamically sitting under price and really trying to push price up, which we might get that soon. Okay, it's not the kind of ratio and structure and data that I'm seeing to say, yeah, okay, I'm closing now, this is enough, we're off and we're ready to go. The most important markets, though, really, you know, we have to consider perps, don't we? Oh, we've got USDC data now. So perps seem to want to defend this area, which, as I say, is your weekly open. So, you know, naturally, they are putting a little bit in there. They could defend this area for a while and we get a little bounce, but we have lost that depth once again from the perps market, okay? It's absolutely non-existent. I know some people do look at the 10 to 25% ratios and, you know, kind of make decisions on that. I don't personally, because it's a million miles away. For me, it's pointless. It's just pointless. You know, if you're day trading, scalping, whatever, you know, intraday trading through the week, holding positions for 12, 24 hours even or whatever, you know, 25% away. Really? Are you bored about that? I'm not. Okay, so right at the minute, I need perps to come back in the 1 to 2.5, and if they come in a little bit beyond, that's even better. Okay, and then I want spot market to aggressively start sitting under price as well. If we get that, okay, in this kind of zone, because this is one of the first areas I am interested in, this weekly open, monthly open here. Okay, this is one of the first areas I'm interested in, but I'm not seeing it just yet. Okay, and as we can see, aggregated book depth, we are still in general supply. Sin says 25% is nice to check time for time for long-term sentiment. Yeah, it is higher time frame stuff. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, you are right. Okay, so just to have a look at our top levels then. Here we go. So offers closing in yesterday, quite aggressively closing in yesterday as well. So very good risk reward short, I do believe, yesterday. Market conditions at the minute are conducive with playing both sides as well, I do believe. And to confess, I don't normally play both sides. So last week, obviously, we had shorts into longs. Okay, I thought that was really, really good risk reward longs last week. Even got my rocket. Even got my liquidity alert kicking off. So we had double diamonds and then our little rocket alert. Okay, if you didn't catch the long there and you were up with Nick at 3 a.m. catching longs, it's certainly when you get this kind of price action, you're hitting demand. The liquidity in the books is absolutely nuked, so that's why it gives me a long side rocket. It's certainly not a zone to just expect further downside. Okay, so we got a bounce. It was an absolute bounce for ants, to be honest, wasn't it, initially going into the weekend? And then you got suddenly rewarded with that Monday push up to take that higher time frame liquidity. So that's where we are now. We've been presented with the short side trade. That's what we are in. Okay, we're in that. We're just going to manage that position for me personally, and then I'm eyeballing where to take profit and potentially then cut another trade. Yeah, maybe we cut a fresh trade into longs again, but I'm just not seeing it right now. So we can see where the offers all closed in. They've even closed in on price there earlier on, okay, at that 1076. We've got some top levels here at 105, and then we've almost got like a double cluster of levels there in 103. I think the 103 level would be better if we can get there, but as we all know, I don't know if we can get there, Even taking the short yesterday, we're in the Discord, we're all chatting, we're eyeballing a short, we got a fill. And even at that point, I'm thinking, okay, the levels are a little bit higher at 110. Maybe I'm going to get, have to take a stop here. Maybe we just flash up to 110. So I stayed up late a little bit last night. Late for me, anyway, 11 p.m., half 11 p.m. That's late for me. Watch the price action, watch the offers still attack price, and then I was quite happy, to go off to bed. Right, okay, no, this I don't think this is going any higher. But there's always that case of the biggest offers were at 110. Previous week's highs are all up there, and there's 3 previous week untouched highs up there as well. Just to be aware of, there's a lot of liquidity, I do believe, riding over 110. Okay, so when we do find some demand here, I definitely want to play alongside trade to go and volley price action back up. But yeah, quite a few levels below. Okay, so depth of book, as we've seen, let me just quickly go back to that. Depth of book, not that good. We still are in aggregated supply. These green ratios have only just started to come in, so maybe you start to build a bit of depth now in the coming hours, okay? Because these ratios in the 1 to 2.5 have only just started to go green, okay? On Binance, Coinbase Pro, you've got some Gemini bid there. Gemini were really selling into this yesterday, okay? So they want to defend that zone, so that's good to see. Exchanges like Gemini and a couple of others, they probably don't do the kind of volume that can push price on their own. I would always watch Binance, Bybit if you've got the data. We don't have the data, unfortunately, they don't share it. Okay, in the perps markets, the biggest markets you want to be watching, okay, so USDT as well. And we can just see here, yeah, little bounce, absolutely valid. Now, one thing to say is looking at the volume, CVDs, okay. So yesterday, there wasn't exactly bearish divergences because we didn't put in any kind of higher highs up here, did we? To then say, yes, we've got bearish divergences. But going up there yesterday, the volume was absolutely shite, okay? The volume was just shit. Open interest was skyrocketing, volume was shit. We did actually get flashes of negative funding yesterday, but with that supply above, I still think the short was valid. Wasn't too scared about shorting that, honestly. Right, so volume right now. Yeah, nothing I want to see, to be honest. Just a 15-minute basis with this slightly slower look back. I can go to a 5-minute. 5-minute volume probably looks like it's just following price to a certain extent. Yeah, it does at the minute. Open interest has come down. LS ratio has come down. Funding's actually gone positive from last night now. Why is it? Because everybody and their grandma are now trying to long this dip, and it's probably not ready yet, sir. Okay, so just to say that, 15-minute basis, I know it's a slightly slower look back, this one, that you guys always tell me I have a slow look back on this, but I've been using it for over 4 years and I still quite like it and I can read it absolutely fine. Thank you very much. So yeah, nothing to see here really as price comes down. No divergences in perps, no divergences in spot. Open interest has come down, funding slightly elevated as retail long the dip right here, right now. So I'm quite happy to hold shorts from these highs up here and chill for the day. And while the market is coming down, these are the kind of days where, you know, push less buttons and plan. Okay, so if prices are coming down, let's plan what are we seeing next, so we can go over that and have a look at a few altcoins today as well. If BTC is going to drop and find a bid somewhere, what are we looking at lower on the altcoins as well? Okay, so with that being said, shall we have a quick look at TradingView before we get back to the all-important data? Let's have a quick look at TradingView then. So levels I've got on TradingView, this is just obviously a 1 hour chart. I think everybody knows what the daily chart looks like and stuff. We're just falling back to this range. Excuse all the mess. I'm not going to tidy it up for you lot. You're all TA nerds, so you can accept a little bit of a messy chart. So this was our first area, obviously, because it's just what was potentially on a 1 hour chart. Resistance, 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 push up, back. Are we going to find support? Okay, potentially, but I'm not seeing it on the order flow right now. So then I'm thinking I'd like to come down lower, yeah, if I can get it, and that is an if I can get it. 104, 500 or a little bit lower, that'd be nice. And we know there's some order blocks down there in the TRDR console as well. So really nice shorts last night down to this first area. This is the way to play it. So, you know, down to this first area. Do we want a long here? Not right now, to be honest. Okay, I'm just going to chill a little bit. Maybe we bounce up, tickle 106k, which is, you know, just near your monthly VWAP. Maybe we go up a little bit higher and just tickle this old resistance at just over 106, and then get rotations down again. So, you know, I think shorts are quite, if you're short and you've executed well from up here, like I know some of you guys have, I think you're pretty safe at the minute, to be honest. And maybe it's a case of this takes a little bit longer. Maybe this takes us now into FOMC, which is tomorrow. Okay, so check your local timings on that. We've got FOMC tomorrow. I don't really give a flying fuck, to be honest, about FOMC. It's not going to affect my trading decisions on magic internet money in absolutely one shape or another. If I was trading cable, if I was trading USD JPY or oil or something like that, yes, I'd pay attention, but I'm not. So I don't give a flying fuck. Anyone that says about trading crypto and FOMC, it's not affected us, I don't believe, since at least the last bear market, I don't think. You know, it really did affect us then for risk off assets. And, you know, Bitcoin does trade like a tech asset. You know, it really does, but it will do what it needs to do. And I hate to say it, but show me the chart and I'll tell you the news. It's as simple as that. So let's see if we can come down a little bit. And maybe timing wise, that would be good for FOMC. So I think it's about 7 p.m. my time tomorrow. What date is it? 17th, 18th, 19th, maybe not. That doesn't quite line up. I might need to take a fresh pull on that, but we'll see. Okay, we'll see. Monthly open a little bit lower. Let's see if we can get that. While I'm in here, okay, I just want to show you a few levels on other assets before we look at where those order blocks come in the trader console. Yeah, so first of all, ETH. Okay, 4 hour chart. Back to 4 hour charts now. Really, really nice range on ETH. Okay, where am I looking? Range lows again, because we are range traders, aren't we? And if you're looking for value, you either want ETH to hold here at the point of control at 2,530. Is it going to hold here if BTC wants to grab some lower liquidity? Maybe not. Okay, so you want to have a look down a little bit lower in this 2,450 region. Okay, just we look, or as I'm pointing them out, actually, you know, this is all classic TA. This is crystal ball voodoo shit. Okay, none of this really matters unless you actually get a bid or an ask on price. Yeah, so as I'm going through some of these levels, just have a look at your trader consoles if you've got them available in front of you, and then we'll jump back to it in a second. But ETH, really nice chart. Wyckoff or Wyckoff traders might be able to tell me if this is distribution. I don't think it is, though, because we keep seeing demand. It's only probably getting pinned here as Bitcoin works its kinks out. Another chart I really like, and you'll know why, because we used to be OG Bitcoin triangle traders, is look at that on ETH BTC. Really nice chart. So again, yeah, I don't know what the fuck is it, pennant, triangle, whatever the fuck it is, I don't give a shit. If it gets bid, you long it, and end of. We're not going to over analyze these things too much. We are traders. Soy Boy Sol, okay, Soy Boy Sol has been struggling a little bit, back to these kind of could you call them range lows after that big deviation? Maybe, but certainly I would like to see Sol come back and just confirm some of this zone that we wicked into last week. Okay, this 140 or 144 region, that would be really nice on Soy Boy Sol. And then last one I'll just have a quick look at with you today as well is Sue. It's been absolutely down only since that hack, hasn't it? If you ever want to know when an asset's going to get hacked, just drop in the socials and ask if I've just longed it, because that happened on Hype and it happened on Sue. So anyway, since the hack, we've kind of like not been doing a lot, okay? But again, in the trader console, which I looked at initially earlier, because I think it was Max or Sin were pointing it out, you've got some nice levels coming in, some nice demand coming in these lower zones, 2.8 area on some of these altcoins, okay? So this is where I want to be doing my first initial bit of business if BTC finds a little bit of demand, all right? So jumping back then, what's Bitcoin doing? Not a lot bouncing about. So ETH, there we go. So ETH, nice chart, nice spot demand, quite good book depth. Okay, 250, 300 million. It keeps flirting between those two. We can see the ratios aren't amazing. Okay, other exchanges are quite big through there, though. I don't know what kind of volume Coinbase does. Let me have a look at Perps as well. Perps depth is good on ETH. Okay, so it looks a little bit messy, but it's good to see it, yeah? Then USDT spot, we've got levels here at 2,500. I think if we can cut into this zone, that would be really nice. I'd prefer to cut a little bit lower and fill a bit more of that wick space from last week. Sol is a similar picture. That's why I just wanted to show you the TA charts as well. So obviously you've had a couple of good longs on Sol. So your initial good longs on Sol were the initial breakdown last week. From there, you got a slight bounce, and then you even got a second chance there. I think that was the 14th. Yeah, so that was at the weekend, wasn't it? Absolute fire and forget trades. If you see a chart like this on big volume assets, okay, like BTC, Sol, ETH, we don't have spot on Hype, but you know, any of the bigger assets, and I'll show you a couple more in a second as well, these are absolute fire and forget trades. You've got like 1.5% risk there, really are. And then you had a nice fun day Monday, didn't you? So can we get a little bit of confirmation in these zones again? You could say Sol's already been there. If it goes there again, it's not too healthy, but you could also say that if BTC and ETH are going to bounce, what's Sol going to do? It's going to go up, isn't it? You know, Sue is very similar. Okay, so Sue, strong demand back there, so 90 ratio. Okay, and we had a couple of alerts back there. Got the bounce, little bit weak, isn't it? Again, a little bit weak, kind of rounding off, coming over. But Sue coming into a really good deep depth of demand area now, so keep an eye on that if we go lower for any bid back up. And again, this can take time. Try not to push too many buttons, you know. I think it was last week we had the short trade, sit on your hands for 2 days, and then you got the long trade Thursday into Friday, wasn't it? You know, and then you probably take profit on that if you just day trading or holding for a few days. Last night, then you hedge that position or just short that position back down. You know, that's kind of how the market can be, especially on Bitcoin now. I think you can take 1, 2, maybe 3 maximum trades on BTC a week and do very well out of it, you know. Litecoin, keep an eye on Litecoin. Okay, whatever you think about this asset, it trades really well. It still does okay volume, to be honest. It still does okay volume, probably more volume than 99% of alts, and it's got some good bid lower. So wherever it comes, Litecoin, yeah, it's probably going to do all right. Other assets, yeah, I've been keeping an eye on a few others. Drop in the chat if you do need me to look at any, but I've not been watching too many. Did anyone watch XRP rise up yesterday and grab that liquidity and then roll over? It's always a warning sign if XRP does that and nothing else is. Let's just run through a couple of others then, and then you can, yeah, drop in the chat and let us know if you need me to look at any of alts, and we can go through a couple of other bits. What we're saying then, Max, I thought major walls were at 110. Was there a 109 wall that large? Yeah. Last night on BTC. Sorry, was that a question at me? So the main wall, 110, did perhaps have 109, I think. No, all the walls were 110. I think all the walls were 110. Yeah, in reality, shorting up here, your stops had to be over 110, in my opinion. I kind of stayed up last night, watched this, and then managed my risk because it started to roll over. I like to tighten that up straight away, especially if it's late in the evening and you're an old man like me and you want to get some beauty sleep. I like to tighten up that risk, and even if I wake up and I'm stopped out, I'm fine with that. But, you know, as the night went on and you see this aggregated depth just diminish and become offers, I was quite happy with that. But yeah, 110. And if I would have got stopped, I'd reshort at 110. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's heavy supply, you know. It was heavy supply yesterday. It really, really was. The only thing there was that got us questioning, okay, was this. This spot wall came in. So as it was up here, I was like, right, okay, here we go. We've got some funny business going on in the order books. Maybe, you know, I still had the full intention of shorting this price action, but I literally thought we're going to come down to this. You know, I thought, God, I'm going to get like 1% out of it. You know, and that's it. But I still was determined to take that because the open interest was high. The supply was heavier. You know, you could just tell there was no demand under that level. You know, and then obviously later on in the evening, whoever this entity was just said, "Oh, fuck that," and they pulled it. You know, and there we go. Coin M, yeah, they've been in heavy supply. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but even their upper wall was 110. Yeah, so for me, most walls. So spot was 110. You could, yeah, spot was 110. I think Coinbase Pro were 110. USD. The one that, oh no, they dropped that in. I thought they had one there. Maybe they didn't. And then Perps was their upper walls that they dropped later on in the evening, which was nice to see. And this is again why I thought we might have gone there. But my plan was always to short that mid 108 number and then manage my risk in this zone. You know, you never know. You can analyze the chart all day long. Sometimes you've just got to get in. You've just got to get in and take the trade and manage that risk. You know, maybe you don't go full amount in here, so you don't get full reward on the way down. But you have to be okay with that. You know, you have to be okay with that. So yeah, I think everyone was at 110. Even if you looked at Coin M, their top, what I would call top level was 110 there, look. Okay. And that's something to say about when you see double walls like this, it's a nice defense, but if you put your stops too close to the first wall, that might get filled, okay, and then the offers just become overwhelming and you might not get to that second wall. So stops above the second wall are always the best, I'd say. And that goes the same for bid. You know, if you were bidding this, really you want your stops under that second wall there, all right, and then you'll have a good night's sleep. Now that I've inverted that, it looks like we just want to fucking send, doesn't it? I hope not. I hope we just come down a little bit more and find some bid, because I still am in the mood for longing this back up. But we'll take whatever we are given. You know, for the last couple of weeks, I've had my eye on on doing, you know, I've had my eye on doing another all-time high, you know, back up into the 120s or wherever it may come, and then absolutely giga-nuking as everyone gets bullish and in a liquid summer, right? If we don't get that as a trader, you know, you've just got to be accepting of it. No crystal ball speculation from us. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, I am still, you know, of that opinion. That's what I'm thinking. But if we don't get that, then, you know, no crying in the casino, sir or madam, I'm afraid. No crying in the casino. We take what we are given, okay? Ratio's coming up a little bit on BTC. We're now trading under the weekly open. If you're a bit of a classic TA nerd, that ain't good, bruv. You're probably going to drop a little bit here or chop around it and then roll over if we don't gather any more bids. Certainly not getting any aggregate bid there. Let's have a couple of other altcoins to look at then. This is the way I like to play it, is if we are going to come down, then what else are we potentially looking to play? So we've had a look at ETH, Sol, Hype, obviously, Perps. I'd love it down there at that 38, 37 zone. Why have I got confluence down here, and why am I seeing all this liquidity down there? Let's have a look at TradingView very, very quickly. Let's have a look at TradingView very, very quickly. 4-hour chart. Okay, absolutely. Uponly.com. Trending market. Where's your next big order block? 37, 38. Monthly VWAP at 38. So if you're a very patient trader like I am at the minute, bang, 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 go. Okay, maybe you're nibbling a little bit, you see what the rest of the market's doing, you manage that risk, you cut it if the market's looking shit, maybe you get a bounce, everything's looking good, you want that dynamic bid to follow up, you want them top levels to follow up, and then you next add in with strength. That's always the best way to do it. Don't let price fall, back test that area and then go, well, I think I'm right because everybody's long hype, and don't long weakness. Okay, so maybe you're nibbling a little bit down here. Okay, you see a sign of strength, the bid is pushing price back up, and then you can add in with that strength. Yeah, in a trending market, that is the way to do it. Yeah, down here would be really, really nice. That'd be good. Thank you very much. If the crypto gods can give us that, that'd be good. And I do like to see this kind of liquidity cluster down here. So yeah, let's get down, eat that liquidity, and then we might have a nibble. We might have a nibble. So I've added Hype to my Perps alts double bands. Okay, so we haven't got a spot market for it at the minute. We've got KuCoin spot. Not sure how good this data is. That sell side data was obviously okay. But Perps market wise, I've just added in, you can see the crosses here, I've just added it into Perps alt double bands. Okay, so that's double ratio bands in the Perps market, added it into there. Now you can see it's firing already a couple of times. Like I always say with these alerts, especially on altcoins, they can give you loads of alerts. It doesn't mean you have to trade it. All the alert is doing is saying something's going on, please come and have a look at the chart. Okay, this kind of area, not that fussed, because why? Now that we're rolling over, like BTC's rolling over, you can see these top levels above price, and I can see that liquidity lower. So I'm going to be nice and patient and wait to see if we can get down there for best risk reward. Yo, what's up, Savaro? Yeah, you are dead right. Yeah, Hype will do hype things unless Nick bids it, and then it'll get hacked. Like Sue did as well the other week. Oh God, I'm just not going to post whenever I see something that's looking good next time. I can't remember what it was the other week. I think I was joking about Tesla bidding Tesla, and then it get hacked or something. Right, a couple of other nice performers. Teo, again, keep an eye on Teo. It does good volume, good order books. TRB, yeah, I'm not too fussed about that. Sorry, ENA. Teo, again, nice order books, not bad volume, pretty low compared to, you know, even stuff like LTC that we looked at. But you can just build a picture sometimes. So we looked at ETH, we looked at Sol, and sometimes you just build that picture of seeing the demand a little bit lower. So it would be nice to go and get that. XRP, we looked at that, looked shit, didn't it? DeFi is still really, really bid. It's really bid is DeFi. All I would say is, it's not the best order book if you're just trading Perps. Obviously you can see these bounces, but you haven't got like, this is CRV, you haven't got too much edge in trading it really. So you might want to do a, you know, check that it's bid, Yes, great. Okay, it's bid. Okay, where is it on the chart? That's what I would do with shit like this because it's a little bit messy. AVAX is well bid again. Okay, so keep an eye on this a little bit lower if you can get it a little bit lower. Pepe spot has been a mess. Perps is well bid. It's a shame actually. I do like keeping Pepe on here though because if it does get spot bid, it will react to it, and it always does. WIF is getting sold into once again, so it tested this demand zone here, got a bounce, and it's just, you see these offers here, it's just getting sold into again. Doge has been well bid. Okay, keep an eye on Doge, but in all honesty, if you've got the skills to pay the bills and you can trade something like Fartcoin with more efficiency, you know, or even Hype, you know, they all move better than Doge, don't they? You know, so, you know, if you're trading derivatives for percentages, you know, or win rates, you know, an R&R, do you want to trade Doge that doesn't really move that well? Okay. Or do you want to trade Hype or Fartcoin that's going to give you an extra 5% or something ridiculous? Always trade better, don't they? Again, the Fartcoin chart is a bit of a shit tip mess, to be honest. Bonk, similar. Any others we need to look at? ICP, bit messy, to be honest. Yeah, a little bit messy. Look at this algorithm here, selling into it. Sonic, someone's starting to really bid Sonic lower, so that's good to see. Again, I'm not really too fussed for trading derivatives. I'm always keeping an eye on OM, which is Mantra, because as we all know, it giga-nuked a while ago now, a month or so ago. It's had a couple of good spike ups. There's these offers waiting up there at 2.29, yeah, and they're quite static. They've been there for a while. If OM, and I've got it set in my alerts as well, comes down, finds a bid, what's Perps like? Perps is messy. Yeah, I really want to concentrate on the spot market. If OM comes down and finds a really, really good bid, and you can see it does shit volume, 750k, I would take a derivatives Perps trade just for that upside movement, because it could be a 20-30% move into these offers up here. So just keeping an eye on OM as well. It's probably due a move. New market again, Cato. Okay, we've got Cato if you're interested in that one. I got airdropped a bit of that a while ago actually. Insta sold it. BNB. Chart's dead. Don't trade it if you're on Perps. I know some people see it now and again with the offers on and stuff. Just freaking leave it alone. It's like TRX. It's an absolute stable coin, to be honest. Couple of others. Ooh, Comp. Yeah, keep an eye on Comp. It does move well now and again. STX is doing shit. Trump. And obviously I'm just going through my watch list here. What we will do is go and have a look at the we'll go and have a look at the screener as well, won't we? Okay, so yeah, I mean, look, to be honest, nice steady week again for me personally. It was last week. We looked for the pullback last week. We got the pullback. I say steady week. It's not a steady week when you're up at 3 in the morning trading. But, you know, push less buttons. You know, 90% of your time, don't push any buttons. Plan for your next move. Where do you want to take profit? If you're going to take profit, what do you want to see to take profit? I want to see demand. I'd love some volume divs. Let's nuke the OI. Retail along here at the minute. Okay, so I want to see them flip and start shorting some lows if we get to those lows as I'm seeing demand. And that's, you know, it's the way it should be. So nice, potentially a nice chilled day. In theory, what you might do is, a little bit of ratio coming in there, 70 ratio. In theory, what we might do is drop a little bit lower into this 1-3 region, gather this demand over the next, maybe we gather this demand over the next 24 hours, you know, and then grind up. Maybe we get, and I've said already that I don't really give a shit about FOMC, but maybe we get a grind into here, 103 region, which I like it on the TA charts as well, and then we get a dovish Fed, not that I give a shit, and then we volley back up and everyone says, oh yeah, J-Pow's dovish, and so this is bullish for the market, they're going to cut rates and Trump's going to fire him and all this shit, when in reality, you know, we know we're coming into a demand zone, yeah? Like last week when Israel and Iran start fucking throwing fireworks at each other and everyone blames the Bitcoin 6% drop on that when we were all looking for drops anyway, you know. I think Bitcoin dropped worse the other week when Elon Musk and Trump were bitching amongst themselves, you know. So we'll see. Let's watch the Bitcoin price for a second then as we get a little fall into this zone. Not a time for chasing shorts, so I would say. But I always say that, don't you? You lot are probably bored of me saying that. You know, you've got to get your execution here. Even though we're potentially looking for a little bit lower, this isn't the zone or the time of day to be chasing shorts or looking for fresh shorts. Tiny bit of bid coming in on price there. Who is that? Not bad from spot market there. So you could easily get another quick bounce, you know, around here. The ratios did flash up quite high, didn't they? 66 positive ratio, 63 positive. You can just see the other spot markets starting. Okay, so they're just starting to pay a bit of attention now. What is going to be the best is if we can get perps involved as well, isn't it? Of course. Okay, so that's going to be really, really nice. But yeah, no group spot alert yet. No BTC diamonds yet like we had there. Let's try and get this to the opposite side, and then we might be doing a little bit of business. Cater Yappa coin. Yeah, it is. Yeah, social thing. A load of shit, to be honest. Absolute fucking bag of bollocks. I know people get involved in it and stuff, but probably going to end up like 99% of the rest of crypto. Absolutely useless. It's a good meme coin called Useless at the minute, actually. Right, let's see what's going on then. Is ETH in some strong demand? Yeah, ETH. I'd like ETH a little bit lower. Let's see if we can get that. Everything the same, really. Even there, Sol is hype coming down. Let's get hype a little bit lower as well. Right, let's go and have a quick check of stocks. Then we'll have a quick check of the screener. What's stock market doing? Stock market's pretty steady, not moving a much. We're only half an hour or so into the open, so you never really expect much anyway. E-mini futures was pretty flat going into the start. Tesla, yeah, not bad. Dixie just grinding down, isn't it? Yeah, tomorrow's going to be the bigger day for stocks, obviously. So that might potentially give us our better entry or exits on crypto as well. Frentech, yeah, it's fucking all bollocks, isn't it? Yeah, I remember. There's loads of that social fi stuff. There's, oh god, everything. It's all absolute billy bollocks, isn't it? Most of it. I'm sure some of it will have a place in the coming years. You know, we're all crypto advocates and fans. We all want it all to do well. It's just unfortunately a lot of these projects launch and they get hyped and then they do absolutely bollocks, don't they? I think the best recently has been Hyperliquid, hasn't it? You know, just the exchange itself, Hyperliquid. There's probably a couple of other good bits out there. But yeah, so those ratios we just hit on Binance Spot, giving us a slight bounce here. Right, let me go to a 5-minute. Slight bounce for ants as we tackle the weekly open here. Yeah, not a lot to see here at the minute. Perps certainly not wanting to get too involved, but let's have a look at the screener and see what's going on the bid-ask side. Okay, anything standing out? Not too much. Some big ratios on Jup. Generally does get quite spot bid. Jup. It doesn't surprise me because I saw Ray was getting some good bid as well. Doge, we know about. We've seen that. Wi-Fi. My God, I mean, as if that's still going around. Didn't the dev leave that project like 3 years ago or something? So yeah, there is some spot bid coming in the markets. What I did yesterday, as we were entering the supply, obviously on BTC, was just flick to my supply on alts as well. But I didn't want to hit too much, really. So just concentrated on BTC, but that's the way to do it. I don't think you're going to see anything that is a mega short right here, right now. I think it's more shorts were last night, if anything. You know, even ETH and some of the other coins held quite well, to be honest. It's more a case of, for me now, of let me flick that back, of what is coming into demand. Okay, so like Phil, what is coming into demand? Do we need to prepare to long a bit of Filecoin, even though it's absolutely probably an irrelevant project once again. Not really. I mean, it's probably going to bounce a little bit here, but there's not much to suggest to me there that I need to go uber long on that when Bitcoin and ETH are doing their thing. Peps market, probably some of the same characters. Let's flick to all assets then, and what's going on in the other exchanges. Okay, so Peps market, Huobi are bidding XRP quite a lot. Nothing really that stands out. Qcoin are loving a bit of Pingu. Yeah, FXS, Binance Perps. One of the lads, I think it was Morpheus, pointed this one out earlier. Probably getting a nice bounce, actually. Perps, why can I not see the top level? FX. Oh, that's Joe. Hold up. Wait a minute. I clicked the wrong one. FXS. Where's it gone? I might have been on the wrong one. Let me check that. It was FXS. He's got some nice perps bid on it, but I'm just not too familiar myself if it's there you go, FXS. So really well bid on perps. I'm just not too familiar with this coin fracture myself, trading wise. So, you know, I think it's a good risk reward. Is this just liquidity in the market again? You know, it's doing pretty shit volume, so this could just be a bit of liquidity in the market again, like we've seen many times before, just holding that price up. Obviously, if BTC and ETH want to drop a little bit further, then this is going to fill this zone here, isn't it, or nuke down below it. But yeah, keep an eye on that one. Probably the best of the day I've seen for risk reward. Anyways, that FXS trade. Yeah, I thought I saw it and flash up in the screen. It probably, the thing with this is it'll move. Obviously, it's fast moving, isn't it? So you might go to a coin like Riff, for instance, go to click console, but then it jumps places with one of the others. So spot market wise, move. Don't even have a clue what that is. What is move? Movement? I don't even have a. There's too many here, isn't there? There's so many. Oh shit, that is quite nice though, isn't it? That's spot market as well. Wow. Okay. Interesting, sir. That is crazy because that's been there for a while as well. They filled there, bounced, and then they've just sort of like come in, stepped in to defend that zone. Very interesting. Yeah, that is a nice one. You might want to share that in the socials if you're in the TRDR Trader socials. That is a nice one. Let's have a look at anything else. Where's a screener there? Yeah, move. Bearer chain. DYDX is bid. I don't think I'm too fussed for that. Because it's no hyperliquid, is it? But again, it's fucking hell. Some of these spot coins are looking very strong, I do have to say. Bearer chain, spot market. Yeah, there's probably some. If BTC gets a tiny bounce here, some of these altcoins are probably worth a little trade today. You know, you might get 5-7% out of them. While BTC sits around here and works out its kinks. So yeah, move, move, and what else was it? DYDX, yeah, looks strong. They do look strong, I do have to say. Yeah, you might want to drop them in your socials. Right, let's go and what else is going on? Oh, there's FXS. Yeah, it's nice that. Right, what's BTC doing? Yeah, I think BTC's gonna take its time here. I do have to say, so I don't think there's any rush for closing shorts on BTC or opening fresh longs. I think it's going to take a little bit of time, maybe into tomorrow, potentially at least the end of the US session. But in between there, certainly the way I would want to look at it is if you don't think BTC is just going to giga nuke now, then some of those longs that we've just looked at are they do have some potential. Sin, you love trading shit coins, don't you? Have you got a bot trading your shit coins? You could do. I think you can webhook the alerts, actually. You could webhook an alert with on some of those spot ones and the perps ones, actually. Not that I've tried it. I like to keep a little bit more discretionary. So yeah, BTC, not too bad here. It's going to take a little bit of time. Lower the better, to be honest. Lower the better. We need to build that depth. If we can get some volume divs down there as well, that would be good. So what we'll do is drop in the chat if you've got any alts we need to look at. I can look at them in the trader console. If we need to look at the all important bid ask, I can look at them in TradingView as well. And then we'll crack on. FOMC tomorrow is about 7 PM UTC, I think. I can't remember when the data comes out compared to when JPOW takes the stage. I don't even watch it anymore. Why would the fuck do I care about magic internet money and the USA interest rates? I really don't give a flying fuck. But yeah, if you trade in legacy markets, keep an eye on that. Cool then, Bitcoin. Best thing I do when I'm not interested in trading these intraday little tiny moves, 15-minute chart. I know some of you degens go on a 30-second chart and stuff, but 15-minute chart, so you're not watching these candle wicks up and down in, you know, in this US session start. But yeah, the demand is suggestive of it's coming, but as we can see, it's just not quite there yet, is it? Not quite there yet. Let me have a look at my alpha chart. What's that saying? Yeah, it'd be nice, I think. Yeah, and again, we will build some divergences if we can get a little bit lower. So again, first area of interest here, weekly, monthly open, but really your risk is a bit further down here, to be honest, at the 103 level. If we can go down there, then you might build them divs. That'd be really, really nice, wouldn't it? One other thing to show you, which we kept looking at last week for that drop, didn't we? Is the perps liquidity is still very, very high. Okay, so spot liquidity pretty much reset, and I might need to change the settings on that and actually save it while we're chatting. I'm going to put it to 1.23 billion on the lower bound. 1.23. I think there is that my lower bound. 1.23 there. Yeah. Because I think that is near our lower band. So let me just save that quickly, because I forgot last time, didn't I? Liquidity King. Measure twice, cut once. Liquidity King. Don't overwrite your templates when you don't intend to. Yeah, so we've had some good open interest resets last week. Then it just skyrocketed up. So then we've got the volatility. Spot market is pretty much reset. So I think if we do find some demand, it'd be good to volley this price action back up. But just be aware that perps liquidity is still very, very much full, or has been. Obviously, I'm on a higher time frame chart. So if you look very, very low time frame, you'll see it come and go. But this needs a bit of a flush. It can come either way, of course it can. It's just historically we do like to flush to the downside, don't we? So yeah, keep an eye on that for BTC. Is Act back in the mix? That was great. Was that this year? Act was really good. Let me have a look. Sin loves Act. It's great to trade it, especially if you just scalping. Oh yeah. Yeah, do you know what, I don't know if this is I think it's just the exchange or the market maker putting up some liquidity to hold price, to be honest. Maybe go check on Dex Screen and what kind of volume it does as well. We could check the tick in here. Oh, I don't have it in there. Trade count, I have to add it. Let me add. What's it in center? Is it in sentiment trade count? I can't even freaking remember. Trade count 24-hour. Yep. Act 24-hour trade count is shockingly bad. This is the sort of thing I would look at when I'm looking at those perps books. Okay. 778 trade count in 24 hours. So sin, sir. That is probably why there's that perps liquidity holding price up, because if 778 people decided not to trade it, it's going to zero. So they have to this is the way I see it, so they have to put something up. They have to just hold price, because it would only take someone really, really pissed off on spot market, like they look a bit angry now. They look a bit angry now to say, fuck this, I'm selling my bag. And it's going to negative numbers and beyond. So yeah, just be aware of that when you're looking at them perps markets. Just have a look at trade count now and again. They're always like Sin says, they're always worth a trade, because you might just get a 5, 7, fucking hell. I mean, even if you get a 3% bounce off it, you know, in perpetuals, you might do well. But yeah, keep an eye on that trade count, because if you bear in mind what some of the top coins do, obviously looking at BTC and stuff, they're in the billions. Even some absolute shit coins like BCH. Right, so we all know what a scammy chart BCH is. I'm not even going to look at it because it's disgusting. But even shit coins like BCH are doing 100 million tick count. Yeah, so just keep volume in mind as well when you're trading shit like that. In fact, I'm gonna keep that open. I do think. Do I need to save that? I can't remember. I'll do it later. Right, so what's BTC doing? Yeah, chopping about, isn't it? AST, the Act Proxy, yeah. It's a meme coin, isn't it? Meme coin. It traded really well in meme season. It did trade really, really well. AST, the Act Prophecy, yeah, it's a trade, yeah. Whatever it is, it's all bollocks, isn't it? It's all absolute bullshit, isn't it? You know it is. Right, so shall we summarise BTC? It's gorgeous weather over here in the UK, actually, so it's nice to get a position on Bitcoin and then chill out for a little bit while I've got some other projects and work to do. So summary on BTC, we've got shorts running from the high, yeah? Okay, we're getting into slight bid ratios now, but not quite enough maybe to give us a full reversal. So what do we want to see? Usual recipe. I'd like to see a little bit more depth. I'd like to see us potentially come into the monthly open or a little bit below, and we need to see that depth. Okay, we're still in aggregated supply. That can change quickly, especially now that on the 1 to 2.5 you are starting to get signs of green come in, but over the last 12 hours aggregated supply absolutely just hammering price down. Okay, what else do you need to see? Okay, we need to see the perps market involved as well, don't we? Yeah, we just need to see, even if we just see some big limit orders start to come in and support price. At the minute we've just got nothing, so you know, please don't chase shorts here. I'm saying I'd like a little bit lower. Does it mean Nick's going to get a little bit lower? No, maybe price just holds now, you know. We've seen that before in recent weeks where we all want a little bit lower because we're greedy traders. We don't get a little bit lower, price starts to hold, and then the bid moves up, sits under price, and you move up from there. So yeah, stay, what did we call it the other week? Double D, dynamic and discretionary, I think is a very good way to be at the minute. Higher time frame, we're still very much trending. Okay, daily chart looks good. We got range, trend, range, trend. Weekly chart still looks good. If we're gonna fall into one of these zones and gather some bid, okay, that's the long trade I want, that I potentially would hold for an attack at all-time highs, and I still think that could come. Okay, but like I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm happy to be wrong on that. And I think it's going to be very, very obvious if we know we're wrong on that, because any bounce from these lower demand zones that we get is just going to get absolutely attacked like this again from offers, okay? And then we can change the narrative a little bit and say, okay, summer's over, we've had our fun, we're not going to get all-time highs, okay, like Nick would like. You know, we need to short our shorts, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys. So look, jump into the console, grab a link from below for your free trial. Someone was asking me earlier about educational stuff in the Discord, but basically if you come to the top menus, and mine looks like this obviously, but if you come to it might, when you launch, look like this. If you come to the top menu, okay, in the academy, you've got the academy here and you've got the docs page, okay? So the lads have done a really, really good job. Absolute wealth of knowledge in the docs page. I don't know any other consoles that have got this sort of thing on them, to be honest, okay? Wealth of knowledge and education in there alone. It's not just this indicator works like this because of this, yeah? So jump in there. Really, really good nuggets of information in there. And then jump in the academy as well. Oh, you get to the docs via here. So we've got the free videos, obviously, okay? Still very, very relevant, okay? These templates that I go through here, I've not really changed much in probably 4 years. You can see these videos are 2 years old. Probably not changed these in about 3 years or so, okay? So jump in there, all right? And then, but first of all, if you are new, you need to jump into DK's order book over there. You've got coin cards, risk reward. And then, yeah, if you do want a little bit more in-depth education on the way I trade the market, then jump into here, and we do have that private Discord access as well. All right, guys. What is Sin saying to finish us off? Finish us off, Sin. Coinbase seeks SEC approval to offer blockchain-based stocks. If this means we maybe can analyze Tesla TLs and OPT, that would be nice. I'll let you into a little bit of info. Years ago, to finish us off, as we watch BTC Giganuke, years ago when FTX was around and we had FTX data, they had algorithms for their stocks that they used to put on. So it was like, if you know, over here in the UK, we call them CFDs, which are just contract for difference. So you're obviously not buying the stock like a spot buy, but they used to just track the stock, and that's the way they trade. It's probably what Bybit is doing now, and it's probably what Coinbase is going to do. Whether or not they are, because there is obviously talk of tokenizing stocks, isn't there? And I know actually Chainlink have got a lot to do with that, to be honest, so keep an eye on that project. But yeah, what I was going to say, I'm talking shit, aren't we? Let's finish the stream. All right, guys, I'm talking shit. No, what I was going to say is FTX, SPY on FTX swaps were members. SPY on FTX, we used to be able to see the, I don't know what the algorithm was based on, to be honest, but we used to see the contract bid ask on SPY on FTX and a few other assets, Tesla as well. I'm telling you, it was fucking brilliant. Yeah, say what you like about those degenerates over there at FTX, but they did provide us with some good data now and again. Anyway, have a great day. We'll speak soon, guys. Cheers.